I record it.
There's the official business card.
All right, thanks. Tom Segelhorst, Alderman. All right, there you go. All right, well, my name's Jason Moore. I write books about the area. We're an up-and-coming newspaper, too.
I know of you.
Okay. So my issue really with annexation, and it's the same thing that other people have asked me to ask, is it seems that there's some cherry picking going on by the city and what neighborhoods they do annex. So middle income and higher neighborhoods are being annexed, while lesser incomes become pretty much islands within the city when this happens.
Okay, well, of course, we can't annex anything now because of the state law, other than
but you could.
by request.
But you could, right?
By request.
Right.
I'm trying to think of an example that you're talking about because I don't know an area.
An example in the city itself would be Springdale and Black Bottoms, right off of Wilcox.
Okay.
Those are complete islands within the city as you go toward Meadowview.
Okay.
And there's plenty of other ones that way too. But
is there houses in those areas?
Oh yeah. In Springdale, there's a community probably with 700 houses or more.
Okay. Is that right there off of what I?
To the left.
Okay.
Right
As you're going
behind
out.
Williams Electric.
Okay. Okay.
And then on the right-hand side, Ward Street, where the Stedmans live, all that.
Okay.
That way too. Roughly the residential property in Black Bottoms would be around 25,000.
Okay.
In Springdale, those homes average 35 to 50,000.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
They're an island within the city, and that's happened in Colonial Heights as well. It's happened in Indian Springs.
Okay.
That way as well.
Okay.
And Rock Springs.
Okay. Well, we don't.
Right.
We don't control what gets annexed. That's generally done through the planning department
City
and
planning.
the planning commission. Is what brings us what to annex.
Sure. And
we
then,
don't say.
And then y'all get thrown to the fire trying to explain why it happened.
Yeah. I mean, if it were totally up to me, and I'd probably speak for the rest of the Board of Mayor and Alderman, those people, if they want to be annexed, are as valuable to the city as any other area.
If they want to be annexed.
Right.
Okay, but what about the people that didn't want to be annexed?
Well, there was.
You don't want to be on camera?
I'd rather not.
Okay, that's okay, Tom.
I don't care about recording my boys, but I just don't like to look at myself on the camera.
Sure. Okay. But what ends up happening is the richer children go to the city school, and then the poorer children go to the county schools. And the county schools ultimately.
I'm going to take an issue with what you're saying.
Sure,
okay.
sure. But ultimately, those schools in the county are talked about being merged, like Sullivan South and Sullivan North.
Okay.
I went to Sullivan South.
Okay.
I went to Rock Springs.
Okay.
I went to Sullivan Gardens to elementary and middle school there.
Okay. But I would challenge what you said there by showing, like, even free and reduced luncheons. If you could show me that there's more free and reduced lunches in the county schools than there are in the city schools, I'd accept what you're saying.
No, I'm talking about annexations now, not what's already part of the city.
Okay.
Not what's already part of the city at all. I'm talking about in the last 10 years, the annexations that have taken place, where they've taken place at.
Well, I know, and I've only been on the board. This is starting my 4th year.
And you know, Sullivan South, academically for 25 years, has always been
as good or better than DB.
Better than Dobbin's been.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't disagree with what you say there.
Right. So what is your feeling on merging the two schools and what's been in the paper that way?
Merging high schools or merging school systems is a very emotional topic for everybody.
Sure.
I mean, I went to a very rural school in Missouri. At the time I was going to school, there was talk of separating my school. It's very, very emotional. I wanted to go to the high school where I would plan on going. I think we need to try to honor that as much as possible. Yeah. I mean, but we also need to look at economics.
Sure.
It just doesn't make sense to go out, just in this example, to build a new middle school out in the Colonial Heights area somewhere, because that's where we need it. And then there's 2 other schools sitting out there nearly empty.
Well, Kingsport's full of empty schools.
You're going to have to help me out there.
In Highland, Thomas Jefferson, it's been empty for I'm not sure how long.
Totally empty?
It's empty. And then, of course, the original Douglas School over off Ponderock that way.
But it was replaced by another school.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But There it is, an empty
Okay.
building.
Okay.
Again. They used it as a jail for a little while in the
Okay.
1970s.
That's, I know what you're talking about. It's it was a nonprofit center for a while too. I believe they had some stuff in it.
But
Okay, good point.
at any rate, I mean, it seems like sometimes these merging of schools only help some rich developer get richer.
Well, you seem to be focused on rich versus poor, and I don't see it rich versus poor at all.
I'm not focused on that,
Okay.
but I am focused on getting the story there because the newspaper is biased. I mean, I'm a write-in candidate for state representative, but they haven't done a story on me because I don't have a budget. I don't have deep pockets that way. They will not even mention me in the Times newspaper.
Yeah, because I didn't know you was.
Did you know that Halsey has someone else on the ticket against him?
I did know.
Okay. And what is he? Do you know his name?
I don't know his name. I know he's an independent. I don't
He's
know
not
his name.
independent. He's a libertarian.
Well, okay.
But you can't be a libertarian on that Tennessee ticket apparently because they changed it to independent. And he's
Well, that's how I knew. I mean, that's why I said independent because
he came to the one in Colonial Heights the other day.
Okay.
I didn't even know y'all were doing these because it's hardly mentioned. And then in the Times news today, it was mentioned as starting at 5:30 instead of 4:30.
Well, the time was changed yesterday or day before because we had some rumblings about, well, people can't go to church if it starts later, so that's why the time was moved. One of the reasons I understand the time was moved.
Sure.
Is what I was told.
What about the expanding at 126 here on Memorial? I keep getting told it's a state thing, but
It is a state thing, but
much is it?
personally, I support at least straightening because it's a.
sure, it's a dangerous road.
I will not drive Memorial Drive from here to the interstate because it's a dangerous road. I don't live out in this. I live over on the west side of Kingsport, so thankfully I don't have to drive it. But I would support straightening out the curves and fixing the dangerous aspects
Sure.
of the road. Personally, I think it's a good way to get good access to the interstate.
What's the ratio that you see of people that don't want to be annexed or didn't want to be annexed versus people that do want to be annexed?
The ones we're going to hear from are the ones that don't want to be annexed. So, I don't, there's been no polls done that I know of. I hear from more of those people that don't want to be annexed than the ones that do.
What about the ones that are already annexed? That didn't want to be?
We hear from,
I mean,
well, there's probably a vocal couple dozen. But we've annexed, 5,000? We don't hear from we hear from, a couple dozen people.
a lot of people are prideful. They don't want to get involved in things like that.
It could be. I don't know why people, some get involved and some don't. I can't
Tom,
understand.
what's your background?
Mine? Well, I've been in manufacturing all my life. I've done safety, and now I do human resources in either power plants or paper mills. So I work for Domtar now. I'm the HR manager at Domtar.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Tom.
All right, Jason.